You and I need to have a little talk. Watch the Throne by Kanye West and Jay-Z officially seems to be underrated. And that's despicable. Recently when Donda dropped last August, I did re-rank my Kanye West album rankings. And I believe I had Watch the Throne with Ye and Jay-Z 5th. Now, give or take a couple levels, that's fine. But apparently for some, it was completely wrong and should be much lower. Well, even though music is subjective and overall just an opinion, they're just factually wrong here. As a huge Kanye fan, I know Watch the Throne is objectively and subjectively not in the bottom 3 Kanye West albums of all time, but just look at some of these comments. My ranking, 12, JIK. 11, Watch the Throne. Another ranking, 12, Watch the Throne. 11, JIK. My list goes like this. 13, Cruel Summer, which I personally didn't include in my list because Ye isn't on every song. 12, Watch the Throne. 11, Jesus is King. Watch the Throne is not worse than Jesus is King. I'm sorry. Another ranking. 12, JIK. 11, Watch the Throne. And the final comment, Watch the Throne is his only shitty album. That last comment is kind of what I guess set me off a little bit and wanted to make this video. And I appreciate all the opinions and the comments on my video because once again, at the end of the day, I know it's all just an opinion. I really just can't believe some people feel like this album is dead last in Kanye's discography. So here are the reasons why I think that they're just wrong in that opinion. 1, Watch the Throne really was so culturally relevant to hip hop, where you have Ye and Jay-Z, 2 hip-hop legends finally collabing on one album. They're brothers. They had been working together for over a decade, and they're finally made an album together. You have the master and the student coming together for a beautiful piece of work. It's an album that every hip-hop head wanted and needed, and we had finally got it. The penmanship between the two, especially with storytelling on songs like New Day and No Church in the Wild, is really historic. 2, the features. You have Beyonce, 2 features from Frank Ocean. Are you really gonna say Beyonce and Frank Ocean have features on an album and say it's Kanye's only shitty album? Then you have The Dream, the Otis Redding sample on Otis, of course, Mr. Hudson, Curtis Mayfield. It's an album where you don't even need features, yet you enhance the album that much by adding these smooth features on this project. 3rd, the production, of course. The production on this album is incredible. It was so grand and epic and sonically pleasing in so many ways, especially with the choir vocals, the chopped soulful vocals, the soulfulness of Otis, the huge synths on Who Gon Stop Me, the opera on Ham, I mean, come on. Gotta Have It, and Paris, the banger of the decade, which is still being played. Not to mention the tour. That era of the tour was fantastic. Absolutely legendary, ridiculously monumental for hip hop. I went to that tour. I saw Kanye and Jay-Z in Pittsburgh, and it was probably the greatest tour I had ever seen live. You had 2+ hours of straight hit after hit after hit between Ye and Jay performing songs off Watch the Throne, and they didn't even have an opener because they don't need it. And every encore grand finale was Paris 4, 5, 6, up to 10 times over and over again, and the crowd loved it every time. And then you have underrated songs within the album, especially Made in America. I think this is one of the most underrated hip-hop songs of all time. You have Frank Ocean singing a beautiful hook. Ye and Jay spitting verses on how they overcome all their struggles, being black in America, and still being triumphant in the end. This album flows together beautifully between the cover art, the production, the lyricism, the vocals, features, everything, and should never be dragged like that again. And yeah, most of the album is very mature, way more mature than a lot of the music you'll hear today. They're talking about family, especially on New Day, consciousness, like Made in America and Murder to Excellence. So much introspective shit that you just might not get as a younger person. And I truly believe the older you get, the more that you will appreciate this album. Trust me, when this came out, everyone said you need one for the whip, one for the crib, and one for the plastic, because it's a classic. This album should not ever be disrespected. Instead, it should be appreciated as a classic in hip-hop history. If you feel poorly about this album and you love hip-hop and Kanye and Jay-Z, I urge you to listen to this album again. Read along with the lyrics. Open your mind when you listen to the album. Give it the chance that it deserves. No, it's not just 808s. intense and raging like a lot of the music you'll hear today. But it's like a fine wine that you should savor and let marinate in your musical palate. So that's it. I just needed to say my piece with that. If you're watching this and you love the album, let me know why in the comments and what your favorite songs off the album are. If you're watching this and you didn't like the album, maybe the first or second time you heard it, and you re-listened to the album after watching this video, let me know why you now love the album. Either way, thank you all so much for coming by. I appreciate you. If you're still watching, hit a like and subscribe to the channel if you love making music, talking music, and listening to music just as much as I do. You can follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram at EJSpark1. And as always, you know what it is. It's peace, love. I love s'mores. EJ, ow.